See, sometimes maybe I do get tired because I want to get on here and say something. Because another reason I was talking about my brother, Alfonso, is because when Sharina, she called me. She had my full frontal. I could barely see her, so I don't know if it was her or not. It sounded like her. Anyway, and I briefly saw her face, but she said Uncle Joe was missing, even though I never thought Jesse was my dad, because my mother told me otherwise. I always liked Joe, and I've always called him Uncle Joe. Always. I don't know why. Just like I told people that Landon was my cousin. And when I told her Jesse was my father, I guarantee she didn't believe me either. She said, that crazy bitch, as much as that girl has been a junkie in her life, or a continuing junkie, she don't believe other people when they open their mouth to tell the truth about themselves. Girl, ain't no damn junkie. I remember you tried to give me them damn... The hell were they called? I don't know. It was like 100 in the bottle. I was like, okay, I'll take it. It was for my gout, I remember. But I wasn't having no problem with my gout. And I hadn't even opened the bottle. The only reason I opened it because your ex-boyfriend, the one you was junkie with, was dating Vicky. And he needed something for pain. I don't know who needed, so I opened the bottle for them. And when I opened that bottle and gave him what I gave him, I threw that motherfucker bottle away. Yep, I did. It was whatever I used for the gout that gave me in the hospital. You're a nurse, so I don't know. I can't remember what it was. It's like it's right there. Anyway, I'll remember it. And, but I thought it was the weirdest thing. It doesn't matter. Anyway, the reason, because they said Joe was missing. And, his wife was missing or she was dead. I can't remember the whole conversation. You know I get that. But, that Joe was missing. I don't know if it was true or false, but I felt really bad because I liked Joe. I remember my Aunt Lizzie said she used to go with Joe. She said a lot of things about Joe. But he was always cool with me. He used to drive a cab. And when he ever saw me out there, punk when I was a kid, punk rocking, or just out there hanging with my friends, and it's late in his door, he'd give me a free ride home. He ain't try to touch me or do nothing to me like Rodney Drummond did, get me high like Rodney Drummond did. He ain't do none of that. He was really cool. Always talked to me. Always said hi. I could sit down and talk to him. We used to go to his house when he lived in like Westview or Gwen Oak or Gwen Falls area. I'm thinking, I can't remember that area kind of blends in. But I remember he living deep back in there. He was always cool, never had an issue with Uncle Joe. And she said he was missing or something. And I really would hope, that's really one of the reasons I gave her my number as well, because I really would like to know what happened with Joe. I wouldn't go to his funeral or nothing like that, but I mean, I really wouldn't want to know, wouldn't know that he had passed, and I didn't pay respect for that, whether I went to his whatever or not, They have a moment of silence and stuff like that. So I was really hoping she would call me about Joe. She doesn't call me or anything like that. But that doesn't mean anything happened to Joe, good or bad. It's weird. I actually miss Landon more than I miss Pat. Because Landon was a good cousin. She had a brother, but she was older when she had a brother. I don't think her brother's some years younger than her, because Landon older than me. Landon is older than Pat, but I don't think Landon is older than Vicky. But I don't think they're the same age. I think Vicky is a year older than Landon, because Pat and Vicky are 3 years. Because she was 2 when he was born, so she's at least 3 or either 4 years. I don't think 4, maybe 3. I think Landon might be a year older than Pat. Because I know Vicky is the oldest girl. even though Landa's mother was the oldest child and the oldest girl of the Anderson, Landa is not the oldest child. You know? Julie and all the rest of them had kids before Landa's mother had kids. And I love Landa's mother. Landa knows she had a good mama. I don't know if she knew she had a good mom when she's alive. I know her mother drank. But Aunt Sarah, she was a hot dinger, you hear me? And I used to think she was tall because I was a little teeny thing. But Aunt Sarah, she was, I don't know. It was nobody else. I've never met anybody like Aunt Sarah. I couldn't even tell you nothing about that woman. I just know that everything good, Aunt Sarah was it. I mean, she was a fighter though, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, this family's a lot of female on both sides or all other sides, but I remember Sarah being a fighter. I don't know where men were concerned or anything like that, but I remember her being tough. But I also remember her being a sweetheart. It's like she had a balance in her. And I remember her telling me that she witnessed her dad being hung by the Ku Klux Klan, and that transformed her whole life. And that's probably why she drank. And maybe that's why she let men treat her the way they did. I don't know any of this stuff to be true, just things I heard. When I was young, I didn't know she drank. I didn't know anything about her like that. I just knew that being around Aunt Sarah, it was like nothing you ever experienced. Like I said, she was like completely balanced in every emotion. She didn't make you feel mad or sad or too happy or too glad. You just enjoyed your time with her. And when you left her, you remember that enjoyment. I couldn't tell you. And I don't even know how old I was when she passed away. I know I was young. But yeah. She was a sweetie. I remember her. But I thought Jesse was a son of a bitch. That's because I don't remember him. I used to feel I was always angry at him. I know that much because he made Pat angry. He made Pat cry. And that was the only time when I cared about that son of a bitch. Sat on the steps of Calhoun Street with that motherfucker for him to treat me the way he did my whole fucking life. I've tried not to laugh and cry at the same time. It's just like, oh my God. It's just like I haven't thought about these people in years. It just... I'm sorry, my tape is going to go out, but I'm not going to let it because I really want to talk. But it's so fucking crazy. I hated Jesse's ass. I did. But I do miss Landa more than I miss Pat or even Vicky. Sometimes it varies because I always try to make room and time for everybody in my life. I knew if I talked to her, then she ain't gonna be bothered with that. Then when I go over here, I gotta transform. Or she was over here, she not bothered with that, but she do this and she, that's how I was with my family. It was like I was the spot that filled in every once in a while when they needed a spot. But nobody realized that I needed a spot too. That all of y'all made up my spot. Like I said, I got over that years ago, and I wouldn't even be talking about this. We weren't talking about Uncle Joe the other day, or it's just really weird. And like I said, I've been on Instagram for 3 years. I've never seen Pat on Instagram or in my feed. Never. It's a bunch of y'all in my feed now saying I'm associated with this and I might know this person, and y'all have not been in it for 3 years. That's what I'm talking about y'all asses now. I was hoping I'd never see y'all sons of bitches. I told you. Crime is a goddamn release.